Hey guys, happy Saturday. Hey, thanks for jumping on for a second. I wanted to share something that came through my heart earlier when I was kind of just sitting, enjoying some nature. Very humid and hot here today, but just so grateful to have the healing energy and power of nature around us. So was tapping into that. Went to a couple stores today and chatted with some really awesome people. Went to the farmers market and just saw some great friends and just making the most of the changes and the situations going on locally here today. But in that, every time kind of experience some different things and just gives me time to pause and really look within, feel it, like I've talked about before, and just honor it, allow it to move through, and a lot of times some pretty cool messages, just some insights will come through for me. And one that kind of came through this afternoon really spoke to me. Some aha moments kind of was, you remember when we were kids and we were first starting to learn to color, and it was very important that you stayed within the lines, right? And it was very important, especially in school. Stay within the lines. For me, that never really felt very natural. It took me a lot of focus, a lot of work to stay within the lines. And sometimes it felt really frustrating. So I kind of had that theme throughout most of my schooling. There was just a lot of rules and things I could tell that were like really important to do, and I never quite understood why that was so important. It just didn't feel like it wasn't in alignment with me. But I always remember kind of looking around and noticing how some kids, man, they were so good at that, and they could just focus, and they really took pride in staying within the lines and almost, perfectly, right? Well, I never fell into the perfectionist category. I didn't really worry too much about the details, and so I remember them taking just tremendous pride in how well it was done, and definitely loved the feedback from the teacher or whoever. And the teachers, were always very excited about that and very, very proud. And it just made me really think at such a young age how we learned what was celebrated, staying within the lines, following the rules. I got a lot of positive praise, and kind of fitting in within the boxes, right? Well, for me, I didn't really like the boxes so much. I tried, and I really tried to please, but within, I also felt a little bit frustrated because I never quite felt like I was keeping up or good enough, right? I always was looking around, noticing who was doing better. And that's kind of a theme, like I've always kind of followed a pattern. And so in my last 6 years of my healing journey, my empowerment journey, of really learning to love myself for who I am and where I'm at, and knowing that I'm always doing the very best that I can. And that's the marker to strive for. That's what it's about. And so when I talk about my truth and encouraging others to find your truth, it's because there are a lot of systems and programs that we have been taught over the years from a very young age that really put us in a box. And for some folks, that feels really safe, and it feels really good that, being a perfectionist is like very comfortable. But for a lot of us, it wasn't natural. and it wasn't who we were made to be. I really wonder, though, at each one of our core, aren't we meant to be free? To be our own creative, abundant self. So when you're coloring in the lines, what annoyed me was there was all this extra space that was blank, that was not ever used. And it didn't make sense to me why we didn't just use the whole paper. And so I'm very visual and I'm very simple. Like, keep it simple. And I just didn't like things being kind of designed for me all the time. And I felt like that's what it was like growing up. And when I got into kind of my, professional career field, I just didn't see much opportunity to discover who I was and to discover my creativity. What was my gifts to share with the world? And so I think there's a lot of us that feel that right now, that there's a lot of boxes that are told that we're supposed to do, not question, and it's supposed to just go with the flow. But it's like, if we're a part of this abundant world and we look up at the sky and there's no limit, and we've already shown that we're just a little minute, tiny speck in this world. We all know that. And we're in awe when we think about the vastness. When we put ourselves in these boxes and we follow these rules and we just go with the flow, there's a reason why it doesn't feel in alignment. There's a reason why it kind of frustrates us and we feel kind of icky. Because it's not our truth, guys. It's not our truth. We're abundant. We were created to color outside the lines. We were created to color on all the paper. Front and back. Color on the desk. Accidentally. Because we're so passionate and we're just having such a blast designing and creating whatever we want on that piece of paper. Because guess what? There's no mistakes. There is no mistakes. Everything is for purpose. And whatever comes through your soul, whatever speaks to you, whatever your truth is, God blessed you with it. He innately gave it to you so you could bless the world with it. So as I was looking around today and I saw so many different walks of life, so many ways people were dealing with this and going with their flow. For the first time, I was truly able to look at each one and love them fully for the place they're at. Because we've all been taught different things, but the main theme has been stay within the lines. And it's kind of like being in a storm. There's purpose in it. And we have to allow ourselves to move through it to discover how abundant we are. So everybody is doing their very, very best right now. And love each other for that. Because there's a long history in each one of us before this that got us to this point. But the message I want to share today, guys, is you have the power within you. This is your time. If you want to discover what's outside the lines and how much space and vastness you truly have within you, that you are abundant and this universe is yours to play with. God put us here to discover and serve and play. So for me, I started coloring outside the lines 6 years ago. I freed myself from all the expectations and all the outcomes and all the rules of what others thought that I should be and do. And I'll tell you, it's scary going outside the lines for the first time. But man, you feel alive. and you're excited and you feel that, butterflies. But it's life. It's not fear. Fear is when you're in the lines and you don't want to be in them anymore. That's fear because it's not in alignment. And the thing is, we're challenged with fear every day because we have a choice to be bold and decide, I'm going to embrace and be my best. Each one of us have that power, and we're all doing it, and we're doing our very best. But I'll tell you guys, freedom is when you give yourself permission to color outside the lines with no judgment. Use every color you discover. Use them all, because they each have a beautiful purpose and story and energy, and they give you abundant love. So this was pretty powerful for me this afternoon. I feel free. I feel totally free. And so give yourself permission to be the sky, the abundant sky. Abundant. Allow the clouds for purpose. Allow them to move through you, because they will move through. And then you will see the blue sky again. Embrace it all, guys. But the key is no judgment. Just allow it and love it. So, again, thank you so much, guys. Have an amazing day. I love y'all so much. If I can be of any help, please let me know. Please let me know. This is life, guys, and we're here to live it. So keep looking up. That's where it all is. Take care.